worried about Popeye. Because not only do I not, not only would I not get online for a Popeye sandwich, I don't eat chicken. So first of all, even if you said I would never go there, I would rather have the chicken in Crack Donald or Murder King or they have really good sandwiches. They have chicken sandwiches in Haunted Castle, and sometimes I even go to Sunken Donuts. But hey, listen, I tell you, leave that chicken alone. You better get back to where you got to go, because you don't even know how old that chicken is. And that beef you be eating, you don't know how old that cow could have been born when your mama was born. And they froze that bad boy up all those years, and you don't even know. You don't even know if that's chicken. That could be horse meat. You don't know. And anytime you go into a buffet and you see everything chopped up, you better pray that's food. You don't even know what that is. They say that's chicken. You don't know if that's chicken. That's chopped up so much. That could be anything. You don't know what you're eating. So, people may get caught up on that Popeye sandwich. But I'm getting caught up on the fact that you're eating flesh. And you are what you eat. You eat a chicken, you're a chicken. You take on the aspects of what you ingest. So you eat chicken, you're a chicken. You eat pig, you a pig. You eat cow, you a cow. And if you eat fish, then you a fish. I tell people, nothing with a mouth go in my mouth.
Let's break down diet. What should a person eat?
I want to be careful how I say, because I grew up eating a lot of things. But you need to eat what you're made up of. When you're hungry, you're not hungry for food. Your cells need oxygen. And that's what makes you hungry, because your cells need oxygen. That's why if you should drink a glass of water before, you're not as hungry. Because the H2O, the O of water, has satiated some of that hunger that you had. Don't eat and drink at the same time. Because the things that digest liquids don't digest solids. So you're making your body do all sorts of work that it don't need to do. And then when you think of how we eat and the time that we eat, there are certain things that you should not eat according to the time of day. That's why it's called break fast. Because when you wake up, you're breaking the fast that you had while you were asleep. And so you have to be careful some of the things that you ingest. One of the worst things you can do is eat a big breakfast. Because by 10 o'clock, you're ready to go to sleep. Because the energy that it takes to digest the food is the same energy it takes to do your work. So you eating all this pancake and sausage and bacon and saying, this is a good breakfast. This is a healthy heart. No, that's going to put you to sleep by 10 o'clock. That's why you need the coffee break to get out there and get some of that caffeine to keep you awake until you get to lunch, which is going to put you to sleep by 2 o'clock. But there was a pattern of eating. There was a way we did this when we were amongst ourselves. Even if you go to the Caribbean, in Jamaica, Puerto Rico, there's a certain pattern that people have. That there are things that they eat, there are things that they drink. And there are times that they do it, and there are times that they don't. And this is why, for me, Sister Dr. Ma'at, wife of Dr. Sebi, and what Dr. Sebi was teaching us was so important. Because with all this knowledge and with all these other things that are getting in our way, you can have all the information in your mind you want, but if you have a sick body, it don't make a difference how smart you are. And so it's important that we begin to understand that when you're hungry, you're not hungry for food. That's why, like, when you go out and you get that big, you real hungry, and you go out and Popeye, you get that chicken sandwich. That's why, within an hour or two, you're ready to go to sleep. Because, and not only that, but you're still hungry. And the reason why you're still hungry is because that chicken sandwich did not bring the oxygen that the cells needed. So it filled you, but the moment that it went through your stomach, through your small intestine, all of a sudden now, your cells are saying, yo, but you didn't satiate my hunger. I wanted oxygen. I did not want that damn chicken sandwich. So that's why salads are so important. Because through photosynthesis, green leaves have oxygen. They give off oxygen. So that when you ingest green things that has gone through the process of photosynthesis, you satiate the oxygen that your body needs. And it was just a natural thing when we were amongst ourselves. It wasn't no high-tech knowledge. This was just the way we lived our life. And whatever you do, make sure you purge. Make sure you fast. That's very important to health. You have to purge that stuff out. You know, there was a time back in the day, grandma or ma would be at the door on Friday. They'd be giving you cod liver oil and all sorts of stuff. And what they would ask you is this: are you regular? Mm-hmm. Are you regular? And regular means, are you releasing your solids frequently? Queen Afua tells us that according to how many meals you eat a day is how many times you should be sitting on the stool. So if you eat 3 meals a day, you ought to be defecating 3 times a day. If you eat 1 meal a day, you should be defecating 1 time a day. But if you ain't purging every day and you eating, you have a problem. You may not feel it when you're young, but when you mature, your stomach going back up on you. And when your stomach back up on you, every day you're going to have problems with your digestive tract. And when you're young and you do it right, drink a lot of water. Now, of course, they're selling us waters. We don't know how healthy it is. I understand that. But I do know something about faucet water. And so, you just have to be careful. But if you purge and if you bring the right things into your body, your RNA will correct the mistakes that you make. So your ribonucleic acid, that is like when you hurt yourself or you have an accident, RNA kicks in and it will make your cells regrow. It'll make things happen. It'll make you heal from a cold, a virus or whatever. So that if you're eating the proper things, your RNA is at top shape where it's like your bodyguard that'll kick in. And if your bodyguard is healthy and strong and intelligent, whatever comes to try to invade you, your bodyguard will take care of it. And so, but back in the day, we knew this. This was everyday knowledge to people in the community. Everyday knowledge. This wasn't something that was put aside. Now we don't do that. And with all these things that we're eating constantly, and we're not purging, that's a very serious problem. But it's something that we don't talk about because, that's nasty. No, I'm asking you a question. Are you regular? Are you going to the bathroom regularly? Because that's something that you should be doing. By the time you become a teenager, you don't need to be asked that anymore because you've been asked that so long, you know. And if you have a problem where you're not regular, then you go and somebody give you a leaf that you put in water and you drink that liquid. You regular then. You more than regular. And that's what Dr. Sebi and Sister Ma'at do. They keep you regular. And that's the great. But see, the other thing that's important to understand is something that Dr. Sebi has told me frequently. Something Sister Ma'at has said frequently. Healing starts with self-love. Everybody's trying to take these herbs, but they vibe negatively. They're on a negative frequency. They talk about each other. They're in each other's business. And then they're taking herbs. Oh, I'm going to get healthy. And then when they get sick, they say these herbs don't work. No, the herbs would have worked if you had shut your mouth and stayed out of people's business and lived a more positive life. But the first step in healing is self-love. Herbs will help you, but the first step in healing is self-love. You have to love yourself enough, even if it means you have to forgive your transgressor. And that's something that we don't quite understand, forgiveness. I'm not saying to forgive white folk for what they did. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is for you to continue in your life, you must forgive their transgression so that you can live your life. Because your hating them is like you drinking poison thinking they're going to die. Because that hate, that anger, that negative frequency, that off-center vibration is stopping you from being able to be all that you can be because you're too busy worried about what happened. And we have to forgive but never forget. And understand what I mean by forgiveness. I don't mean telling them it's all right. It ain't all right. It'll never be all right. And you will always be held accountable for your actions. That's not the forgiveness I'm talking about. I am talking about a forgiveness that allows me to be able to continue. And I know I'm going to say this, some people don't like. That young boy, Dylan Roof, that went into the church and shot up all them people. And the first thing that the families of the people he murdered said, I forgive you. Now, I know that bothered a lot of black folk. Mm-hmm. But look at the power that they took from him. Just think of the power. Move away from that internal emotion that we feel. And step back for a moment and look at how, in forgiving him, they said, you're not that important that I would ever dwell on you because I have a life and I'm going to live it. I'm sorry that my loved one is no longer here, but I can't afford to make you the center of my life because I'll wake up every day thinking about you and you're not worth it. That's powerful. People may not like what I'm saying, but think about what I'm saying. Are you dwelling there all your life, or are you going to do what you were born to do? These are the things that we have to start thinking about if we're going to move forward. As hard as it is, as difficult as it is, as angry, which I understand. And if you had a problem with that, I understand the problem that you had. But I also understand the problem you're immediately inheriting by having that feeling. And we're caught up in a world of a people that know not the Creator. And them not knowing the Creator, they don't know decency. They don't know truth. They live in a world that is xenophobic, fear of everything other than themselves. And quite frankly, they hate themselves. In fact, they hate themselves so much that if they should get rid of all the people of melanation off the planet and only white people were on the planet, they'd start to kill themselves. And it would come down to the last human being, and he'd commit suicide. Yes, Hotep family, I encourage you to look to Amazon for my new book. It's my second book, Spirituality Before Religions. And it explores spirituality before religions existed. And it goes from the very beginning of time, even before the beginning began, unto what we're experiencing today. So I encourage you to go to Amazon and download Spirituality Before Religions.